Welcome back to the monorail. This is M34D, and joining me is my partner in crime, the one and only Landon the Dawsdone. Landon, welcome back to the monorail.
Always fun to be coming from the second cart on the monorail. We'd like to have fun here.
We do, and we're going to have even more fun today. In fact, because of our special show theme, I feel like we needed to come up with some sort of alliteration with S, but I don't know if you have a nickname that starts with S. Do you go by like Snake or anything like that sometimes?
For the purpose of this, and ladies do love alliteration, remember that. You can call me Snagglepuss. How about that?
Okay.
Wait, no, that's trademarked. Snaggle Stuff. How about that? Yeah, Snaggle Stuff Don't over here. That sounds terrible.
Yeah. I don't even have the rest of the phrase. We're just going to call you Snaggle Stuff Don't.
Okay. But, I regret this immediately.
But it is true. Today's M34D is a very special edition, and just like the Tower of Terror, it requires a extra special kind of introduction because we're stepping outside of the Magic Kingdom Park. We've done this once before, but at least it was still kind of attached to the Magic Kingdom. When we did our episode where we talked about the monorail, we had to talk about the monorail.
Yeah, I mean, it's in the name and everything.
Yeah.
That's called staying on brand, everybody.
But I think this is the first anything, whether it be attraction, restaurant, hotel, whatever it is, this is the first anything that we've talked about that hasn't been somehow attached to the Magic Kingdom. And in fact, it's kind of not attached to anything because it soars above the sky. And of course, we are talking about the most magical flight on Earth, the Walt Disney World Skyliner system, which, I'm sure I've mentioned this already on this episode, has opened officially as of yesterday. So, boom, we are soaring the friendly skies in the gondolas.
I thought soaring was an Epcot.
Yeah, you know, it's funny because I kind of thought that the most magical flight on Earth was soaring, but that's the thing that they're using for the Skyliner. That's the tagline. So
wait, seriously, that's their brand for the Skyliner?
Oh yeah, you see it everywhere. Yeah, it's on the Disney's official website there, and even I'll make a confession right now. I have watched a couple of the Skyliner videos. I said I wasn't going to do it, and I didn't watch them end to end. I didn't watch them end to end, but I did watch a couple. And
just wanted to taste.
Yeah, and I saw at launch they do have voiceovers on the Skyliner, and they mention it's the most magical flight on Earth. So
I'm kind of impressed that Disney has made it as long as they have without using that tagline.
Yeah.
Like, you would have thought that would have been something they burned like in the first decade or something.
Yeah, I mean, they have certainly had attractions that have flown. I mean, we've got Soarin'. They had the Skyway. It could have been the Skyway in the past.
Yep.
It could have been Delta Dream Flight, or if you had wings. So
a bunch of stuff that we've previewed or reviewed right here on M34D could have very easily used that tagline.
Using it.
Oh, that we all know Snaggle Stuff don't can't talk.
Classic Snaggle Stuff. But man, I've been so excited for the launch of the Skyliner. I mean, as soon as it was announced back in, I think 2017 at I was going to say at M34D.
We do break a lot over here on M34D. For example, you heard it here first. Universal and Disney are merging. Disneyversal, y'all. Epic Disneyversal.
Epic Disneyversal. To be honest, I'd be fine with it. But
really, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, because then I could go to all the parks with my annual pass.
Exactly. We could get on the Incredible Hulk as much as we want.
No, but it was July 15th, 2017. The gondolas were announced by Bob Chapek, everyone's favorite Bob Chapek, the chairman of Disney Parks Experience and Products. And we learned that this transportation system was going to connect the Hollywood Studios and Epcot to 4 hotels. One of them had just been announced, which was the Riviera Resort. The other was by the way, on the announcement, I heard them say Caribbean Beach multiple times. So it's not Caribbean Beach. According to Disney, it's Caribbean Beach. Yeah.
Interesting.
And then Pop Century and, of course, Art of Animation. So those are your 4 hotels that are connected. A couple of quick facts here. 6 miles of cable stretch across the parks to take you to the parks and the resorts. and there are around 300 gondolas that can hold 10 passengers apiece, unless you have an ECV or a wheelchair, and then I think they keep it around 6. So it's going to be interesting to see what the lines are like. I think this weekend is not going to be a good example of what the lines for the gondolas are
No,
going to be
because
like.
based on pictures and social media, the parks are packed
Yeah.
this weekend.
I mean, and we could debate, are people there to see the end of Illuminations tonight, or are they there because they want to celebrate the gondolas? And, you know, I say it's
Why not both?
a little of both. I think it's a
Exactly.
little of both.
Mhm.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think that they move about 11 miles per hour. They can travel up to about 11 miles per hour when they're going full speed. The longest stretch of transportation comes between the Riviera and Epcot, which is about 9 to 10 minutes, according to what I've seen. So, the Caribbean Beach, I'm going to say it right. The Caribbean Beach Resort is actually where the Skyliner hub is. So that's where you'll transfer. You can't actually stay on, like if you're coming from Pop Century or Art of Animation and you want to go to Epcot, you actually have to transfer off of the line that you're on to get on the Epcot line or the Hollywood Studios line. So,
Okay. So I was under the assumption that all the parks with the Skyliners would be attached to the park. So what you're saying is they're attached to a hub, then you go to the hub and go to the
yeah.
parks.
It's
Okay.
almost like the TTC. Consider the Caribbean Beach the TTC of the Skyliner system. So,
Okay.
and there's a couple extra features. If you actually need a bathroom stop, there is a bathroom that you'd be able to use at the Caribbean Beach hub, and there's a Joffrey's coffee stand if you need your coffee fix while you're there. So,
I'm willing to bet that Joffrey's is going to be doing some business, especially early in the morning.
oh yeah, definitely. So, you kind of have to measure times. They've released kind of travel times from like Caribbean Beach to the studios, Caribbean Beach to Epcot, Caribbean Beach to Art of Animation. So you just kind of have to add things up. So total travel time, if you wanted to go from, I think this is the longest stretch. If you wanted to go from Art of Animation / Pop Century all the way to Epcot, it's going to take you about 15 minutes, assuming you don't have to wait super long at the hub to get on that transfer monorail. Or monorail, Skyliner. Sorry.
You did it. Drink, everybody.
The two are just merging together in my mind.
It's just a matter of time, if we're being completely honest.
Yeah. It would be great if somehow there was a station where you could go between monorail and Skyliner.
That would be pretty cool.
Yeah, but so far, no such thing. But I'm just putting it out there, Disney.
It's only been open a day, but so far it hasn't done that.
Unless you consider Epcot one big station, because technically you can get between Skyliner and monorail there. So,
and I do consider Epcot one big station.
Station.
A joke to 3 people, the 2 of them being us.
Well, I want people to enjoy it. I'm not even going to explain it.
Be excellent to each other.
Yeah. Oh, dang it. That's going to let a few more people in.
What? That's just the way I live, baby.
Okay. So if you look at the gondolas, you can see a couple of things. One is some of them are wrapped and they have like a character wrap, or the wrap could be like a ride, or, you know, just classic Disney characters that you'll see on the wrap. Others are not. They are beautifully colored. I think I read there's 8 different colors of gondola. And so I'm checking my facts now, and I'm not fast enough to fact check myself, but let's say there's 8 colors. Give or take.
I was going to say, I could vamp and fill time while you look for facts.
Let's name the 8. Yellow, for sure. Orange, red.
Blue? Do we have a blue one?
Purple. Green.
Light purple. Don't forget light purple.
I've said. Oh, dang it.
And the rest.
And the rest.
Yeah.
One thing I am sad to report is I've tried to do my research, and I could have sworn at some point I saw there was going to be a gondola that had Muppets characters on it. That, unfortunately, does not exist. And that's sad. I feel like we all need to take our hats off for a moment and just say, just a moment of silence for the Muppets, because
that is disappointing. And it wasn't taking that much. I mean, it's literally just a wrap on a gondola.
Right. And they seem to be
Uh,
wrapping them in everything else. I mean, there's
yeah, it
Coco,
really does.
there's Frozen. I mean,
Well,
a
of course,
lot.
there's Frozen. Yeah.
Yeah, Stitch. You've got Star Wars. You've got all the the classic characters, of course. Mickey, Minnie, Goofy, all those, Pluto. And I don't know. I mean, they're all really cool. I think my favorite one is the Haunted Mansion wrap. It's super cool.
Mm.
Yeah. I don't know if you've had a chance to see a lot of them, Landon, but are there any in particular that you thought, oh, now that's a cool wrap on the gondola?
I have not been fortunate enough to see any of the pictures of the wraps other than the gondolas that were just kind of hanging out when I was down there last time, but I didn't, stop and take notice of what was on the gondolas. But at
You're
the
not
same
paying
time,
attention.
yeah, I'm really not. I'm paying attention like crap. I got to get to like Tower of Terror because I have a fast pass. Also, my feet hurt and my back. That's mostly what I'm thinking of when I go to Disney. For being completely honest, those three things in particular. But no, I think that's cool that they're doing. It sounds like a mix of their classic characters with some of their newer characters, as well as the attractions as well. It's like I didn't know they were doing attractions for gondolas. So
Yeah, there's a Pirates of the Caribbean one I saw.
that's cool. Like as soon as we're done, well, actually, I'm going to do it right now. I'm going to see if I can find a picture of the Haunted Mansion gondola because that thing sounds pretty deadgum cool.
And of course, in classic Disney style, there is Disney Skyliner merch. And
Of course there is.
yeah, and you can
Ooh,
go see.
okay.
Yeah, you can go see some of it if you go look at the old Monday Morning Monorail Twitter, because I did have a chance to see
That's
some of
pretty
the
cool.
T-shirts, and there's a magic band. There is a super cool DVC magic band that I'm very jealous of, and
Enough to the point where you're going to tell Sam, like,
yeah,
guess what? We signed up for
sign up,
DVC
sorry, I had
just
to
for
get
this one thing. Sorry.
that magic
I
band.
did it for us. Mostly this, but us.
Yeah. There is a cool pass holder long sleeve T-shirt. It's like a hooded long sleeve T-shirt for the Disney Skyliner, which too hot to wear such a thing right now, but still cool. It looks like it's lightweight, so maybe it'd be okay.
I did see the tweet you were talking about. I was giving you grief, shocked that they have merch, but it does look cool. It kind of has a retro feel to some
Yeah,
of to some of the presentation, and I kind of dig that.
yeah, I like it too. I think it is
Hmm.
kind of like a throwback look a bit in
Yeah,
some
like is that style called mod?
probably.
Sure.
Just-
Listeners, let us know how wrong we are.
we
Send all hate mail to snagglestuffdome@snagglestuff.com.
we know nothing about art or style. Um,
Yeah, if you could see the video right now, like one of us is wearing pants, and I'll let you figure out who that is, ladies.
I really like. There's a tumbler that, like a water tumbler that has the classic kind of. Well, I'm calling it classic, but I think this is what they're using on a lot of the design is the look of the crossing lines and the Skyliners on them, and it's kind of they're using red, white, and blue as kind of the Skyliner color scheme. So it's pretty cool. I like that. There's a mug that's just a gondola, basically.
Oh God! So over under 2.5 weeks until that comes home with you.
Yeah, I'll probably have that. I definitely want the Christmas ornaments because they have Christmas
Yeah,
ornaments that
those
just look
ornaments
like
did look
gondolas,
cool.
and
Yeah,
they've got the character wraps on them, so they're pretty cool.
and
Those
that
perfect.
oh, I was gonna say those are the perfect pieces of merchandise for the gondola because the gondolas literally just hang. And what do you do with Christmas ornaments?
Yeah,
You hang them. So
most appropriate.
I know Disney is really good at this merch stuff, but good on you, Disney, especially that one instance.
I'll tell you this: if they put out something like they have with the monorail, where you can get like a miniature monorail to kind of go around your Christmas tree, but it was a Skyliner that you could kind of put around the tree, I would do it. That would be
Oh, and
super cool.
and it would be great. Please be sure and set up a camera because I want to watch your cats bring down the monorail or the Skyliner. Crap, drink. That would be amazing.
That would be very cool. So if you plan on riding the Skyliner, a couple of things I did want to mention. First of all, it's free, just like Disney transportation, the buses, the monorail, it's free. So another thing you can do to kind of get a Disney experience without even having a park ticket, because you don't need one. You can ride the Skyliner all day long. They just won't let you in the parks. And the other thing I was going to mention is that we had kind of talked to before about, well, if you do have a wheelchair or ECV, is it going to be difficult to get that thing on because the gondolas are in constant motion.
Yeah, constant move.
Even though they slow down in the station, is it going to be hard to get on? Well, they do have special gondolas that they come off the main line and sit at the station stationary without moving. You can drive right into them, and then when you're ready, you're fully loaded, they put it right back into the system.
Didn't you kind of call that when we were speculating on how they were going to answer that? Didn't you specifically say there would be carts in the station just set off to the side?
I didn't want to toot my own horn, but I speculated that's
no, dude. Like, absolutely toot your horn in this instance. It's the one time you've actually speculated something correctly. So go for it, dude.
Hey, second time. It's happened twice.
Oh, really? Okay.
The first time was when we were talking about how they were going to, when they announced they were going to do time frames for people visiting Galaxy's Edge at Disneyland, and I said it would be cool if they gave you colored wristbands and then stormtroopers escorted you out when it was time to leave, and then Disney like days later announced that's exactly what they were going to do.
Mm-hmm. Okay, all right.
I'm not saying that I'm a psychic. I'm just saying I'm plugged in to something.
Slow down there, Warwick Davis. That's another joke for three people.
Yeah. So I think, one of the challenges that we need to do one day, now that the Skyliner is up and running, is I think we need to do like all the Disney transportation in one day. We need to go between the parks using buses, monorail, boats, and Skyliner. I feel like
it'd be pretty cool.
And make a day of it. And I personally really enjoy taking advantage of the different transport. I don't know if that's weird, if that's just me. Are there other people out there who could just be happy just doing that? Because I'd be fine, honestly.
No, I mean, I don't think you're necessarily weird. I mean, I don't know if that's what I would do if I went to Walt Disney World, just, ride the monorail exclusively. But at the same time, as we've discovered doing, history on the park and I guess history on Walt as well, he was an aficionado of transportation. So, I mean, there are people that they just want to go. So you might have some of that. And I don't think there's anything necessarily wrong with that.
Not that there's anything wrong with that. Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's just, I guess I'm kind of fascinated sometimes by logistics, kind of the art of moving people around the parks and how they do it. And not just that it's just very utilitarian and we're going to get you from place to place, which would really kind of just be the buses, but they do it in a special way, which is the Disney way of, we're not just going to do buses. We're going to do monorail. We're going to do ferries. We're going to do gondolas, and we're going to make it a fun experience. And it itself is going to be an attraction, not just a mode of transportation. And I think that's what I kind of enjoy about it. But you're right. I mean, I'm glad you brought it up. Walt was kind of all about that sort of thing. He particularly about trains and planes, things like that. And I think this is another thing that I think he would be super excited about, because it's just a unique way to move people around and give people an experience.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll be honest, I'm looking forward to trying it out the next time I'm down.
Yeah. I'm down for you coming down and trying it.
Word. Well, I'm down for you being down for me coming down to try it, dog.
So a couple of things that I did want to mention too. We talked about, the gondolas are going to have, or do have, two wooden benches that face each other and then kind of open space in the middle, seating up to 10, as I mentioned. I have heard that if you're in parties of 2, they are going to group you up with other people. So just like you can imagine, it might be kind of a awkward elevator ride for about 5 minutes. So make it a party,
There you go. Yeah. Bring fireworks. They love it when you bring fireworks. Wait, I'm being told do not bring fireworks. They, in fact, hate it when you bring fireworks.
That's true. I don't recommend it.
No. Nobody on the monorail is recommending bringing fireworks.
But, get to know your gondola companions, because you'll be in there with them for a while. And then the other thing is, the big speculation has been, are these things going to get super hot? And this weekend, I mean, I will say Friday, it was a hot day Friday, and they were doing media previews on Friday, which I tried to get into. They weren't having it.
What the hey? Didn't you tell them who you were?
I tried throwing the name out there, and they were like, "Oh, we don't know you, sir."
Well, you should have gone with my backup. Say you're Orville Disney, and you're here to see Uncle Walt. Yeah, they'll let you on.
Yeah.
Good old Orville Disney.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I didn't get on. But it was a hot day, and here's what I've heard from the people who've experienced it, because we've all been wondering, is the passive ventilation system going to be enough to keep the gondolas cool? Well, if you do watch any of the videos of people that are just capturing the transition from one station to another, there's quite a breeze that moves through those things when they're moving. So that is going to be the big thing. As long as they're moving, they stay nice and cool. When they start to slow down or when they stop, and apparently even in the Riviera station, where right now you have to stay on the gondola as you're going to Epcot because it's a pass through and the Riviera is not open yet. It slows down enough that it starts to get kind of warm on those gondolas. So if I'm just fair and balanced reporting right here, if the gondolas were to break down and stop, it would be pretty bad to be stuck up there on the line waiting for the little cherry picker things to come get you.
And that actually gives me a little bit of anxiety. The thought of being stuck in a metal box, hanging, waiting for a cherry picker. That might be one of those things. Like, you know what? Just bring me up a couple cold towels. I'm gonna stay up here until we move because I'm not getting on a cherry picker to be taken to the ground.
Yeah,
that just sounds terrifying.
Yeah, and it wouldn't just be like a bucket. Like they actually have these. They're like platforms that they can raise up to the gondolas, and I think you just kind of step onto them. But still, yeah.
No, thank you. No, thank you.
Yeah. So hopefully they don't have a lot of breakdown situations. They won't be using the gondolas, in extreme weather, or like if winds pick up or if it's storming. They're not going to put people on those things. It'll be kind of interesting to see how they handle in the summertime when the pop-up storms are coming through. Do they just, like, if they see it on the radar, it's headed for them, they stop putting people on, and then there's some sort of, like, basically like they handle the pools. Oh, there's lightning in the area, you've got to get out, and we don't put people on until,
Yeah, I will be curious to see how that's handled because, I mean, like you said, those pop-up storms in Florida, they can show up almost as soon as they go away, and they always, well, not always, they generally bring lightning in. I wouldn't want to be in a metal box hanging on a metal wire in a lightning storm.
I don't know why not.
The more I say this out loud, I think I'm talking myself out of them.
Yeah, you're never going to ride.
Exactly. I'm going to be stuck in a giant metal box during a lightning storm waiting for a cherry picker to come and get me. Be like, yep, this is how I die. Cool.
What a way to go. Maybe you'll get superpowers.
Ooh, that'd be cool.
Yeah, you'll turn into Lightning Man.
Or Lightning Box Man, because I'll be in a lightning box. Here he comes with his box of lightning.
No, you have to be in a box in order for your lightning powers to work.
Quick, let's go stand in an open field. It's his only weakness.
So, barring any kind of disasters, I don't know. I'm pretty excited.
It'll be fine. It'll be fun.
I'm still up for it. I'm going to do it. And today it's happening. We're recording in the past. We're recording on the opening day of the gondolas. So
very early in the past, I want to point out.
The family and I will be headed down shortly. And the plan, assuming everything goes right, is to do some recording while we're actually in one of the gondolas itself. And we might even have a special guest. So we'll see how that goes. But hopefully we'll be able to tell you ourselves. Now we know for sure it gets very hot in these things, or, whatever.
And I am kind of curious. We talked about next summer with those pop-up storms, and I know you said it was a hot day on Friday, but I'm curious just how hot it's going to be like during the throes in the middle of summer. When I mean, as you know, it can get pretty debilitatingly hot down in Orlando over the summer. Yeah,
we definitely had those real field days that were like in the 105 range, and it will be interesting. And like I said, I think as long as the gondola is moving, I think you're going to be okay. But I think when it slows down, and somebody made the comparison of like the TTA. The TTA is outside and it doesn't have air conditioning, but when it goes like into Space Mountain and stuff, it's dark and it gets very cool and it's a nice little reprieve. And if something happened on the TTA, they're just going to walk you off of it. You're not going to be stuck there for a while.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah.
It'd be a little more like when the monorails have been breaking down. And maybe I shouldn't even say this, but they're in bad shape. And it's happened a couple of times over the last couple of weeks. Monorails have kind of just powered off on the line, and they have to wait for somebody to come get them, like the fire department, in real cherry bucket. like cherry picker buckets to come get.
That's not great.
Yeah,
man. You're telling me these things? I'm going to be stuck in like buses and Ubers from here on out. What next? You're going to tell me that the boat could sink too?
I guess it could, but
oh my God! All right, I'm never leaving my house.
I don't think that water is super deep, but it does probably have gators in there.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I wonder if Disney uses turbidity with that water.
Oh yeah.
I just wanted to say turbidity again.
Bringing back turbidity.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I'll be happy to give you all the facts later on in segment number 3. So stay tuned for that. But for now, I think we're good. I think this is a good, neither one of us have experienced this yet.
Nope.
And typically when we do an M340, at least it's something that one of us have done. We've just been able to kind of see it and hear about it. And now I just feel like it was timely to do a deep dive on these gondolas now that they're opening. And now you've got all the facts, so we don't have to give this to you. And the next thing you're going to hear from me is hopefully me having the time of my life flying on the most magical flight on Earth. So, Landon, are you jealous at all?
Yeah, I mean, I'm always jealous when you get to go to Walt Disney World, and I don't. But yeah, it's should be cool to try the Skyliner.
I think so.
Assuming you don't get stuck.
Yeah.
Or struck by lightning, unless it gives you superpowers.
Frank Cardillo of Theme Park Thursday with Dillo's Diz, he likes to try to put a little fear in me, and he likes to say, this is just a test, and if things go well with the gondolas, they're going to eventually replace the monorail. Not going to happen. But, again, if it does, we will quickly switch branding. We will be the Sunday Sunrise Skyliner from now on. But and I'll have to, oh man, the thought of redoing our artwork and the website and all that stuff is.
Yeah, you literally just got the URL. Maybe go ahead and buy the rights to the URL just in case.
Oh, I should. That's a good plan. And route it to the monorail.
There you go. Boom.
All right, Landon. Anything else you wanted to say before we wrap up today?
No, I think that covered it.
Awesome.
For good old Snaggle Stuff Down over here.
There is one more thing you should say, and that's, of course, where people can find you on the interwebs.
Oh, yes. LANDOZ, please go follow me, Landon Down. I'm the best, Landon Down, not the rest. That's where you can follow me on Twitter, 280 characters at a time. I also run a website, buttmunchchips.com, buttmunchchips.
Sit on your butt and munch.
That's where you can find the formerly exclusively posted Game of Thrones talk, aka God Talk, Near Fall Radio for fans of the sweet science of professional wrestling and the R&D Project. But in lieu of that, I invite you to go to the iTunes store and search for all 3 of those titles, because all 3 of them are in the iTunes store. So be sure to subscribe and leave a review. Remember, 5 stars or GTFO.
Oh, and he's gone forever. Lost transmission. I really thought we were getting a pause there, and there was going to be,
Oh, and I'm also on the Phil Show on News Talk 98.7 WOKI, a radio station locally here in Knoxville, Tennessee. If you're not in Knoxville, you can stream it worldwide at newstalk987.com. Also available in the iTunes store. Search the News Talk app, and also available on the iHeartRadio stores. The iHeartRadio app as well, and also available in the Google Play. Man, maybe I should have just left. That was terrible.
That's easy for you to say, man.
It's clearly, yeah, and I haven't had a drop of alcohol at all today. What the hell? Oh, I mean, heck.
Whoops.
At least I didn't drop an F-bomb, so, that's always good.
That's true. We've only had one to date, so.
And that was because of the iron. Wait, Screaming Eagle? What was it called at Dollywood?
Wild Eagle?
Wild Eagle, yeah. Wild Eagle. Do not ride the Iron Eagle. Good old Snaggle Stuff.
All right, Snaggle Stuff. Well, it's been great having you back on the monorail, and we're going to do this again next week, of course. And until then, everybody go out and follow him on the Twitters and give him all those reviews on all of his various podcasting outlets. Landon, thank you for joining me once again. We'll see you back here next week.
Sounds good.